I want to give you a quick visual on how to complete the assignment that you're going to have on the classroom guidance lesson. Okay, so what you have ahead in front of you right now is the lesson plan template. So you're going to see here's the content area, here's the competency, you're going to list what the competency is, here's the goal, here's the competency indicator, and I'm going to go over all of this with you in just a minute. So then your target audience is going to be the grade level, basically. Is it going to be kindergarten? Is it going to be ninth grade? Then you have the resources and materials to be used, and so you make a list of that. And then your lesson plan here is going to describe what you are actually going to do. So this is like detail if somebody else walked in and picked up this lesson, they would be able to do it in the same way that you have done it. Now, part of this assignment is going to be, I'm going to ask you not to create something new. I'm going to ask you to go to the internet and find something. And the reason that I want you to do that is because I want you to see how much is out there. That you don't have to create this stuff all on your own. So if you've gone and found this, what you can do right here is you print off that lesson and you say, the name of the lesson, 1, 2, 3s of being a friend, located at, see attached. So you've located at, you're going to put the website where you found it, and then you're going to attach a copy of that to this, whether it's copy and paste through here or if you actually have this in a physical notebook. A couple of sites that I would tell you to go look for. If you just Google classroom guidance lessons, you're going to come up with more than you can believe. Pinterest actually has a ton. If you search classroom guidance lessons on Pinterest, you'll get a lot of resources. And you can even put a specific topic, classroom guidance lessons, friendship, and it'll pull that up. Career planning, it'll pull that up. Then right here, your evaluation method. Everything that you do, you need to be sure that you have some way of evaluating whether it was effective or not. So if it is effective, you're going to go back up here to this competency indicator, and how are you going to know this is the indicator that students are achieving the competency? So how are you going to know if students met this? And again, we'll look at this in a minute. I always include this planning for next time. If you do a really good job in your first year of developing your lesson plans, you have things to go back to for the next year. When it's time to do this next year, you can go back and say, okay, for sixth grade, this was a great lesson plan to work on this goal. And if you put planning for next time down here, you can indicate what worked well and maybe what didn't work well. Because if you wait until next year and then you're in the middle of that lesson and something's not going well, you're going to go, oh, I remember that from last year. That didn't go too well either. And so you want to make those notes afterwards to help you to remember what you want to do more of, or maybe what you need to tweak and change a little bit. So this template is going to be attached in there, and you'll be able, it's in the module, and you'll be able to pull that up. Okay, so now you guys are having a bird's eye view of some information that is not available to the public yet. Okay, I think I've shared before that I've worked on the Model Guide Task Force for the 5th edition, and we have this is basically the scope and sequence of your guidance curriculum. That this is going to tell you, it's going to have some things laid out for you. And if you look at the current model, we're hoping that this is going to be out sometime late 2016, early 2017. So if you look at this, this is your content area. So the 4 content areas of this model guide are going to be intrapersonal effectiveness, interpersonal effectiveness, post-secondary education and career readiness, and personal health and safety. So the current guide that is out has what's called the Texas 7. We made the decision that we were going to kind of collapse some of those and then just make this a little bit more contemporary, I guess is the word that I'm looking for, more relevant to what we're doing. So if we look at this, okay, so for interpersonal effectiveness, when you look at these green areas, these competencies, these are the things that in the ideal world, a student has started in your counseling program, your district counseling program, at the kindergarten level, and they've gone all the way through 12th grade. So by 12th grade, this is what we want to achieve. We want students to have in interpersonal effectiveness. We want them to have a positive self-concept. We want students to utilize effective executive functioning skills. We want students to behave appropriately to the situation and environment. So those are the 3 competencies within this content area. And so you see each content area has their own competencies. And then within the competencies, there are goals. So the goal, and this is for all students at all grade levels, this is the final outcome in 12th grade. Students will have accurate self-concepts. Students will appreciate their uniqueness. Students will develop self-regulation skills. And so you see each one of these competencies has the same thing. It has the same, they have goals attached to them. Now, this is the overview of the whole thing. We're going to get more specific now. So if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see that for each of these content areas, you have a tab. Okay, so you have interpersonal effectiveness, interpersonal, post-secondary planning, and personal health and safety. So let's just check on this intrapersonal. So this is what we get. So now we go to our competency indicators. Here's your goals. Here's the student competency here. Here are your goals, and here are your competency indicators by developmental level. So we have here our primary, which is going to be K through 2, intermediate, 3 to 5-ish, middle school or junior high, and high school. Now, we didn't put absolute grade levels on this because we wanted schools to have a little bit of flexibility based upon your own structure within your own district. So if we're going to say the competency, the final competency is students have a positive self-concept, then the goal is they will have accurate self-concepts. For primary, the first place that you do that is to become aware of their personal traits. So the competency indicator is going to be, can a student become aware of their personal traits? That's what you're working on with this. So those are the things that you're going to fill in on that lesson plan. So what I want you to do with this assignment is I want you to, you can work this either beginning to end or end to backwards. So if you're going to do beginning to end, you're going to pick one of these competency indicators and you're going to, identify what you want your goal to be, and then you're going to go out and find a lesson plan to match that. Or you can go find the lesson, and typically that's what you're going to do. I mean, we begin with the end in mind. We know where we're going, but typically we don't pick the lesson plan. But let's say you go out there and do some research and you just find a really cute lesson plan that you like a lot. Then you can work backwards. You can find that lesson plan and determine where it fits in. What would be the competency, what would be the goal, and what would be the competency indicator of it. So you can do this either way. Just know that when you really do it in the real world, you're going to start here. That you're going to identify your goals first, and then you're going to go out and figure out how you're going to meet those goals. If you have already taken the programs class, you've had a little bit of experience with this. If not, you will get more experience with this. I think we can't do this enough. So I want you to take this and work with it, and then develop your assignment from that.